Welcome back to English 12. Today, we have a special lesson on verbs. Our teacher will explain the different types of verbs and provide several examples for each type, and then the two students will practice using them together. Let's get started.
Today we're going to talk about the different types of verbs. There are four main types of verbs: action verbs, linking verbs, auxiliary verbs, and modal verbs. Action verbs. An action verb is a verb that shows an action. For example, jump is an action verb. I jump high is an example of a sentence with an action verb. Here are some more examples. What type of verb is runs?
Runs is an action verb.
Great. Can you give me another example of a sentence with an action verb?
The bird sings beautifully.
Let's move on to linking verbs. Links the subject to a word that describes or identifies it. For example, be is a linking verb. He is tall is an example of a sentence with a linking verb. Here are some more examples. The type of verb is looks.
Looks is a linking verb.
Can you give me another example of a sentence with a linking verb?
The coffee tastes bitter.
Great job. Let's move on to auxiliary verb. An auxiliary verb is a verb that is used with another verb to show tense or to form a question or negative. For example, do is an auxiliary verb. Do you like chocolate? Is an example of a sentence with an auxiliary verb. Here are some more examples. What type of verb is are playing?
Are playing is an auxiliary verb.
Can you give me another example of a sentence with an auxiliary verb?
I have been studying for 3 hours.
Great job. Let's move on to modal verbs. Is show necessity, possibility, ability, or permission. For example, can is a modal verb. I can swim is an example of a sentence with a modal verb. Here are some more examples. She should study for her exam. What type of verb is should study?
Should study is a modal verb.
Fantastic. Can you give me another example of a sentence with a modal verb?
You mustn't eat too much junk food.
Great job, you two. You did a fantastic job practicing different types of verbs. This is your homework. Complete this sentence by filling in the blank.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable. Before we go, I wanted to remind you to hit that like button if you haven't already and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our latest content.